Hi, this is Vinayak Marchan. This is a guide to visually analyzing 311 calls received by New York City Authority. The goal of this visual analysis is to help NYC optimize its resources by consolidating them, targeting high impact items, and appropriate distribution of them, and hopefully preemptively addressing the issues. So having said that, we'll jump right into the interactive visualization. This is the visualization that has been created using Tableau Public, and that's what you see on the screen right now. The screen is divided into three different sections. The top left, where I'm hovering my mouse right now, shows the complaint types ordered by their volume in decreasing order. So as you can see, for all of New York and for all complaint types, heating is the most that receives the most number of calls, followed by street conditions, followed by street light, and so on. The bottom left is a map, and it shows the distribution of the calls. The intensity of the color depicts the volume of the call. So the darker it is, the higher number of calls you get. The right of the screen is an area chart. It depicts the number of calls received spread over the months of a year. We can see that for all of New York City and across all complaints, there is a general trend indicating that the calls increase in the last quarter of the year, especially around the November timeframe. This is of little help for someone who is focused on their particular precinct or zip code and a department. What would help more would be if they could see the same for their jurisdiction. We can do this by hovering over the map, and when you hover over it, you see it shows the zip codes and the call count. Let's take an example. Say someone from the New York City Downtown Authority is looking for 311 call distributions in the area code 10004. They hover over the map and they find their zip code and they click on it. Now you see that the bar chart as well as the area chart both get updated for that particular zip code, and you see that in the titles here. So this is a little helpful. Now let's say we want to see what really is what is the trend for street conditions. We can click on the street conditions, and then we see how the pattern changes. Now this pattern, as you can see, is very different from the overall New York City pattern that we saw earlier when all zip codes were selected and all for all complaint types. So this helps a little bit. Now let's say you want to contrast this with complaints in the Staten Island zip code. We can select multiple zip codes. You hold the control key down, and then let's say you select this area zip code from the Staten Island. Now you see that the distribution again has changed for street conditions. It's no more peaking as much at the end of the year. It's actually different from what we saw for only New York City. So this helps a little bit understanding the differences in how the complaint types vary from area to area. Let's take another example. We can also select a specific region. So I'll go back and unselect this. So to unselect, you can just click on whatever you had clicked and then click it again, and it will just pick everything else again. So you're back to where we started. So we can also select a particular region. So I'm going to select Lower Manhattan, and I can do that by doing this. And that's what I have here. And as you can see, now the most important complaint or the most frequent complaint we see is broken millimeters. It's not heating, it's not street condition, it's different. And if I click on this again, the trend is different from what we see overall. If we now want to see, let's say, how this is related or how general construction impacts broken millimeters, we can select that, and then we see, hey, towards the end of the year and continuing into the beginning of the year, there's general construction, and around that time, broken millimeters seem to peak and then they go down. But then again, in the middle of the year, they still go up a little bit. So you can see patterns that you can then act upon. So the goal here is to help the New York City authorities do their own data mining using the tool, and hopefully this tool helps them do that and help them deploy resources to the right areas at the right times with the proper skill sets. This is Vinayak Marchan. Thanks for taking the time to watch the presentation.